Missouri State University hosted a dedication ceremony for a new African-American Heritage Trail marker. It happened just south of the Plaster Student Center, across from the Multicultural Center. Marker was named after the university's first black applicant, Mary Jean Walls. In 1950, she applied to MSU and was qualified as salutatorian of her class, but she was denied admission. In 2010, MSU awarded her an honorary bachelor's degree. And in 2016, it named the Multicultural Resource Center Annex after her. She was considered a catalyst for desegregation in Springfield.
The desegregation ultimately of Missouri State is a big thing in the history of African Americans that live in Springfield. And so to have that here right by Carrington Hall, right at a critical piece of campus, says we don't want to forget this happened and we don't want to ever let it happen again.
The Springfield-Greene County African American Heritage Trail is a series of physical markers dedicated to previously unrecognized contributions made by African Americans to the city and county. 7 of the planned 20 markers have been placed.